Welcome back to another episode of Thinking with Mike, and today we're going to talk about a conversation that I had last week with our admins, and I like to label this millennial money, but this is honestly for anybody who hasn't bought a house. They want to buy a house, but they've got all these reasons in the world why they shouldn't, right? Or why they can't. As I was having this conversation about why houses are so awesome to buy when you're super young, because your wealth grows like crazy, all of the reasons why it came in, specifically for Shelby. So I just had her here to talk about that.
Yeah, well, I said I'm not there yet.
When you say you're not there yet, what does that mean?
I'm not ready to commit. I don't know where I want to live. I don't have money saved up.
Right, and so these are all the common things that people have when they're starting, right? They're not ready to commit is huge, and that one is so easy to be dispelled when you actually drill that down. So if you're not ready to commit, it's actually super easier to move than rent, right? If you own a house, it's way easier to move and move on to the next thing, right? You can either sell it or you can rent it, and you can be gone literally tomorrow. That's not something you can do when you're in a long-term lease, right? If you're in a lease, you have to wait for the end of it and then try to line up your move with that. But if you own a house, like I said, at a minimum, you can just rent it, get some cash flow, it covers itself, and it pays you some income, and you can move on to the next thing and not worry about it. So you're actually way more flexible when you actually own a house.
It also just seems like a very long process if you're not planning to stay there.
Right.
You know.
But it's actually super not, especially if you're gonna rent.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna rent it out, and why wouldn't you? That's why I think people should own real estate. You should buy it and never sell the thing if you don't have to. So if you're gonna rent it, why wouldn't you just do that?
Yeah. Good argument.
Good argument, right? You buy a house when you're 20 and you rent it out, even if you move to California, who cares? You own it, and that thing's growing in value and making you money. That's awesome. So what was the next reason why not?
Because I live with my parents.
Yes, and that's a huge one. One of the biggest problems that people do when they're living with their parents is that they don't even save up money while they're there. Shelby is not doing that, by the way. She's saving money up. She's actually doing that. So if you're gonna live with your parents, it's a really great thing to do in order to give yourself a nice springboard into your life, into your next house that you're gonna buy. But just use it as a time to actually save money, right? And a good way to do that we were talking about is practice having rent or a mortgage payment. So open up a separate account, and if you're gonna pay $1,500 a month for your next mortgage, start just cutting a $1,500 check every month, right? See what that feels like, practice it while you're living with your folks. Because one, you're feeling the weight of what that mortgage payment's gonna be like, and two, you're saving money like mad because it's just going and out of your life.
And you'll be able to see if you're able to do that.
Totally.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Humans are incredibly flexible if you allow yourself to be put into that tight box, right? So if you drop your finances down, you'll get thin and you'll stop wasting money on things that you don't even know what you wasted it on, right? It's crazy how our money evaporates if we don't put it places quickly.
But Mike, what if I can't afford the $1,500?
That's a good question that you definitely thought of yourself. House hacking is a great way to afford a monthly payment that you can't afford yourself. What house hacking is, and this is the coolest thing ever for young people, and they're specifically early 20s, is that you can buy a house and then you rent out a bunch of rooms to your friends to help you cover the mortgage, right? So you're owning the house, the mortgage is being taken care of for you, you're hanging out with your friends, and honestly, you're probably living for free or even getting a little supplemental cash because rooms rent out a lot more. They're a lot more expensive per the room. So that's a really cool way for you to save up money and actually own a house and an asset.
That is cool. I've never thought of that.
Some of my wealthiest friends actually started out house hacking in college, right? So they got those low down payment or zero down payment options that are out there, you guys. And so they didn't have to bring any cash to the table. And they rented out their rooms to all their friends and just built their wealth while they were going to college. So you live for free, plus you're getting the appreciation with the house. That freaking rules.
That's smart.
So let's recap. Let's go through the issues. Not ready to commit. Selling a house or renting a house is way faster than waiting for a lease to end, okay? 2, I'm living with my parents. Awesome. Just use that time to save and accumulate wealth, not just a time to live free and spend all the excess money, right? 3, I can't afford the monthly payment all by myself. I'm not gonna have anything else left to live. Great. House hack. Buy a house, rent out the rooms to your friends, and if you wanna move, you can move anyways and just keep renting it out and just leave. That's awesome. So long story short, save money, buy a house, even if nobody else is doing it and you have all the excuses in the world, go for it and start building your wealth. And if your circumstances change, big deal. You can sell the thing or rent it. It's awesome. Just get into it and don't wait. Ask anybody. Do you wish you would have bought a house 10 or 15 years ago and still own that house today? The answer is a clear, absolutely. That'd be awesome, because look at how much that thing would have cost back then. Peanuts compared to what it's worth. We are there. We are 10 years ago today. We are there right now for the Gen Zs and millennials, right? We are at that 10 years ago mark today. This 10 years is going to move so fast, so act now and reap the benefits later. They say, travel now because you can't later. That's because all people do when they're right now is they spend all their money on stupid trips and traveling, and they're completely tied to debt and they can't do jack in the future, right? So flip the script, get the money now, travel forever.
I feel called out by that sentence.
It's true though. I'm telling you, you are literally putting handcuffs on yourself right now if you're not careful.
Yeah.
That's what colleges do to sell you on their trips across the sea and all of your student loan debt. Yeah, that's what they do. Those phrases did not come from people who were living them. They came from people selling you student loan debt to spend the money today. Travel now because you can't later because of the debt you're taking. Before I go, you guys, please like, subscribe, share, comment.
All
Give
the
Shelby
things.
some love.
Yep.
She's the one who's putting these social pieces together.
It's true.
Thanks a lot, guys. See you next time.